Good morning, ETT. It's good to be with you. A return or not? That is the question. Or at least it was the question last week. This week it's become, what will a return look like? Which implies it might be more imminent, or does it? With our eyes glued to our computer stations and to posting our activities for students each day, should we even be thinking about that question yet? We wonder that. And we know that the province has not yet met the threshold in the needed testing to be able to monitor and track new cases, to consider whether staging is even possible to reopening Ontario. When that 2 to 4 week window of a flattened curve still eludes us, how could we sensibly or safely return to buildings before September? Many of you have been asking that question this week. We stand with our colleagues in Quebec who are slated for a return on May the 11th, while at the same time our colleagues in BC and even in Alberta knew from the outset that they wouldn't be returning. We watch and we stand in solidarity with our fellow teachers, and we also stand with communities, with the families of the 4 SIEU members who were PSWs in Toronto's long-term care facilities. Those families who lost loved ones working without the needed personal protective equipment. Shame on a government who was unprepared to provide that. Shame on the system that is not safely preparing our workers for what they need as they go back to work. We will not tarry as a union. We will be working for our families, for our students, for each other. And we are thinking now about what it should look like then, when we eventually return to buildings and to our right to safe work. As for the reporting PA day, if we're home, we'll take that protected reporting time. If we are in buildings, we will take that protected reporting time. ETT is working in collaboration with the board to arrive at a solution to avail our members of those precious protected reporting hours despite the minister's statement of cancellation. On the remote learning front, a Google Meet is now called Synchronous Learning. We've had some questions this week as well about whether anything's changed on a TDSB level. And we have not had a change there. Nothing's changed. Last week I highlighted the messaging in the ETFO PRS Bulletin 108 and the OCT advisory around distance learning. Check back to that, to your weekly or to the ETT website for all the ETFO COVID updates and bulletins. We've ensured our discussions at our labor management table have been articulating the right of our members not to engage in synchronous learning if they so choose, and they will use their professional judgment in their choice. The union is advising, however, that posting pre-recorded lessons, read-alouds, documents, and learning activities is best practice. It's safe, and it's an effective routine for families and learners. Many of you have students who have not shown up to respond remotely. Without a board requirement to take attendance, and with your effort to connect with all your students, you have probably directed any no-show to your administrator. And that is what would be expected. But after that, they can be the ones to extend any further inquiries and access outreach or support if it's ever needed. We've asked for consistent messaging, system messaging to administrators around follow-up and report back so that the pressure is taken off members. With already much tracking and posting to do throughout the week, that way the final jurisdiction of students and families in the remote environment rests with the board. Finally, I wanted you to know that ETT and our Ed affiliate partners, QP and OSSTF, I meet with them on a regular basis, and we're Zooming these days. And our meetings are particularly valuable during this closure because we can talk about our achievements and what we're finding we're able to accomplish, and also to assess what we need to work on in terms of collective pushback on issues that may come up during this time. It was particularly heartening to speak with a psychologist leader, union leader, and the importance of the affective piece. And it was grounding to hear when so much focus has been put on the academics, perhaps wrongly so, to remind ourselves why we're here, and that's to carry our students and our families and our classrooms beyond this remote teaching and learning time. As members in elementary, we have accomplished so much so quickly, especially when standards of practice around something like this can take months in other settings and sectors. It's uncharted terrain in elementary, and you have been the miracle workers holding yourselves and all of those in your charge through these 45 days of closure. It's really incredible. Thank you for those who have continually just been engaging with these messages and what we're sending you. There was a distance survey that was part of last week's weekly. You have till tomorrow to complete that, because we'd like to collate that and review your responses and share them with you, responses to you. All the best for this morning, ETT. Stand by for briefly updates and news in Thursday's weekly. It's a busy week here at ETT. Check the website for everything you need to know. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye.